welcome to another Tea Time show with me, Mark Tillison. Today's show is about how to connect with your target audience. So working through sort of 5 tips in this video, quick tips that you can do so to connect with your audience on social media, and also how you can advertise to those target audiences. As usual, if you do have questions, please ask in the comments and we'll certainly get to those, and if you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. So something I just discovered just recently, stumbled across, was some information within Twitter. So if you head to analytics.twitter.com, it has this events tab, and it will give you a whole heap of events that are coming up that people talk about on Twitter. So obviously this isn't an extensive list, but it's quite insightful, can be quite inspiring in terms of kind of planning some activity around these. You know, the conversations that your audience is going to be involved with. So I scroll through here, just having a look. You can filter these for sports, and there's no data on movies, so this isn't quite up to date. Also gives you some recurring trends as well that you can get involved with. So yeah, Hump Day, Follow Friday, that kind of stuff. But let's focus just on the kind of main events in here. So there's a heap of stuff around graduation and Comic-Con and stuff like this, which is great if you're in the USA. Not a huge amount of stuff that is specifically relevant to the UK. Come on Twitter, get your act together. But one I did discover, just as an example, was Tomorrowland, which is a big festival in Belgium. It does give us some information about what happened in 2018. So we can see the number of tweets, we can see the reach, the number of impressions. You know, there's a huge amount there. We can understand a little bit about the audience. We can see kind of really popular tweets and live tweets, who's kind of involved in this conversation, and we can see where the conversational split is. So for those of you watching in the UK, sort of 9% of those multi-millions of impressions are in the United Kingdom. So this might be something that we might consider using just to research where is our target audience hanging out, what conversations are they involved in, are they relevant to us, can we add something to that as well. Another place to look as well is there are a whole heap of kind of national days, national weeks, you know, this kind of stuff, and I put some links to those in the description of this video for you, just so you can go and find those. But you know, obviously you've got the kind of, you know, National Chocolate Day and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, there are kind of specific days that you should have in your marketing calendar that may relate to the audience that you're trying to reach, and then decide whether you should create some small campaigns around those. So how can we connect with the audience on social media? So essentially, I mean, there are tons of ways that you could do this, but I would certainly be using some social media tools or just Twitter itself to monitor the hashtags, monitor the type of language used around a particular event, and simply, you know, dive in, be part of that conversation, assuming it's relevant for you to do so, of course. So you know, jump in and just have conversations, answer questions about you know, what people are asking, and help if you can, and just get your brand awareness, and you know, helping people's a huge thing on social media, I think, and just getting your brand in front of people. You can certainly create a content plan to rank for some of the questions about a particular topic. So we can just head to Google search and type in the name of the event, and rather helpfully, Google will start presenting questions that people type into its search engine, any number of which you could create content for. So, you know, which airport is closest to Tomorrowland? You could do an FAQ about this subject, you know, and help this audience. And of course, this is going to drive traffic to your website. The second part of that is that if you are creating this content that is helping people who are talking about this event and they find it useful and helpful, then sharing that with the hashtag on social media, so there's a Tomorrowland hashtag, of course, then, you know, those people are going to find that interesting. We know that because they are typing that into Google. So, you know, you couldn't go too far wrong with that. One of the other tools that I like to use is Hashtagify. So this is just the free version I'm showing you here. There is a paid version that will do more, but if we look at this hashtag for this particular event, I'm using it as an example, we can see popular hashtags that are used alongside that. and we can see hashtags that correlate with that as well, similar kinds of things. But we can also see the influencers in this space on Twitter. Again, the paid version would give you probably more data about this, but we can certainly start seeing some of the influencers who are most influential for this specific hashtag. And then, of course, you can follow those. You can see the conversations that those people are having, and it will be fair to assume that the people who are following them and having conversations with those influencers are also the people who are in your audience that you are trying to engage with. So a few tips there for you. By the way, I should mention that we do consultancy and coaching and managed services around this stuff. So if you do want to build campaigns, we do that. We'd love to hear from you. Comment in the video or find us at tillison.co.uk, or you can find me on Twitter at Tillison. So the next part is, how do we advertise to this audience? And the networks are expanding, their functionality and the ways that we can target different audiences with ads. So a few tips on that now. Certainly with Twitter itself, obviously the Twitter ads platform, you can target the users who are using the hashtag on Twitter. You should be able to do things similar to that on Facebook in terms of topic and interest targeting, people who are following the account for a particular event, and of course those influencers as well are likely to be followed by the audience that you are trying to target as well. So you can build a neat little audience there and target those people with content about this topic. And that's another area actually that you that I mentioned in terms of creating that content. So you could promote that content and pay to put those ads in front of people advertising your content, helping them, and that should increase obviously your brand visibility, but also clicks through to your website for that helpful information. And of course then you can build a remarketing audience around that content and target those people across Google Display, YouTube video, Twitter remarketing, Facebook remarketing, you name it. So you're starting to create an audience by being involved with this topic, and then remarketing to those people and creating your brand frequency by retargeting those across multiple networks. So target on social media or with social media ads around topic targeting, who they're following, topics they're interested in, things like that. And then in terms of advertising, as I said, you can target the hashtags, words, followers of the event, interest categories, Twitter, Facebook, that kind of stuff. And then lastly, the other one you could consider, and this has worked very, very well, which is using Google Ads. So not targeting search specifically when people are searching, but you can create custom affinity, custom intent, or use topics if they're available. So there's a recent video for custom affinity, custom intent that we did, and I'll put a link in the description for you. But essentially you can target people, users, based on their search history. So if they are searching for information about this event, then we can include those in a custom intent audience. If they are visiting web pages about the event, so the event itself, but also all of those questions that are already answered on blog posts and things like that, you can make a big list of all of the content that's currently on the web that ranks on the first page of Google for every single question to do with this event, and target all of them. And that means anybody who is finding information or following links on social media to competing content, not even your website, you can target those people as well. And then you can target those across the display network with banner ads or video, and also on YouTube with video as well. So a huge number of ways that you can connect with your target audience. There are lots more besides those I've talked about today, and we will be talking about more of those in the future. So make sure you subscribe for more of those. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Do give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.